on a day-to-day basis, a lot of times we've got parents that are writing into us saying, I wish I knew what happened today from the teacher that's normally there and from the aide that's normally there. I wish I got regular updates. What kinds of things have you seen work in the past? Because I'm sure that it's not a one-size-fits-all, but what kinds of strategies have you seen be effective?
A couple of things. So the first thing is and I know we've talked about this before on several different shows, is just communication with the teacher before school starts and then all the way through. And by that means, having meetings with them, setting up, one of the things that I've consistently heard from teachers, and I think it's very, it's a reasonable request, is they don't have the time to write notes for all their kids, or it's too cumbersome or too time consuming to be able to leave detailed notes for all their kids. Now, again, if you're in a classroom that has all kids and they all need to be communicated, we need to make it easier for them. And that's one of the strategies that I think is helpful, is actually creating a sheet that will not only give us information, but it will be easy for the teacher to fill out. So either be a sheet of, how were the behaviors and we have a ranking scale, or there's specific behaviors, or are we talking, how was he socially with other kids? Whatever information we're going, we can make a sheet that the teacher can check off and then leave a quick note on the end, or any communication that they need to give to you in regards to the next day. I found that to be really successful for most for most teachers, because they see that we're trying to help them make it easier, right? They're oftentimes a lot more giving of information when they see that we too are trying to make it easier for them. By just handing them a blank book with lined paper and say, hey, leave me notes every day, that oftentimes becomes too daunting of a task for them, and they don't have the time to do that. So again, to adapt to them, be proactive, try to help them, and just create a document or create a form that's going to give you the information the quickest way for the teacher.
Absolutely. And I want to say too, for parents that are watching, that you do have the ability to write in under the accommodations on your IEP for things that you want to ask for that aren't goals. And that's an ideal place to write something. You can put something in there about, this is the way in which we will communicate. But my advice to you, having gone through this myself and gone through this with many other parents, is if you ask for communication to be of that nature, make sure that you write in the phrase the responsibility for getting the sheet filled out and put into the backpack. Make sure that you assign the person that you want to be responsible for that, because for some of our kids that have executive functions issues, think about that. If they're responsible for taking the long walk up to the teacher and having the teacher write, he didn't pay attention in school today, getting it in the backpack and getting it back to you, what's the likelihood that's going to happen?
Right.
So I think having the teacher responsible for it, or another adult, and get it written into the IEP that they're responsible for it. Otherwise, you're not going to see the piece of paper, is my advice.